I found my stepmom's Reddit account and was pretty shocked to see how much she hates me and my siblings. I was really upset, and I even cried reading the things she said. I don't know what to do. I don't need any advice. I just want to vent. My father has been married to my stepmother for 5 years. He's been divorced from my mother since my younger brother was 2. They get along great, and they're both great parents. I've got a 17-year-old sister, a 16-year-old brother, and I'm 25. Then my father has a 3-year-old son with my stepmother. I found her Reddit account pretty randomly since I'm only home at the weekends, so I let her use my computer, but she forgot to close her email because I was able to come home during the week. She doesn't post that much, but she comments a lot. I was honestly going to close the email, but it caught my attention that all the replies were from the in-step parent subreddit. So, I couldn't resist. I know it's not a good thing to do, and curiosity killed the cat. The first thing I saw was her last post where she detailed things about my life in a random Reddit sub, criticizing my decisions and even lying to get people to support her. She has posts on that site talking about how happy she feels when my siblings are not at home. My sister adores her, but she has comments talking about how she can't wait for them to turn 18 and leave the house because she just wants to share the house with her family, my father and her toddler. It seems like she doesn't see us as her family. She has a lot. She's always saying how it's fine not to love your stepchildren because they're not family and you don't have to think of them as family. She also moans about how much it bothers her when my dad and brother have sleepovers. They just watch a series in the playroom and then go to sleep. She's tired of hearing the laughter of a teenager and can't wait to leave the house so my father can be with his real family. But what she hates the most is having to learn sign language for my little sister. I've always thought it was strange that SM still struggles with sign language, but now I know. I guess she never really tried to learn. My sister always said that lots of people find sign language really hard, so I never said anything, but now I know that she always thought it was stupid to learn how to talk to my sister when my sister always tried to help her. I was too surprised by the hatred I was shocked by the hatred she showed when my father spent time with me and my sister. She was so jealous of us, it was disgusting. A lot of people told her they felt the same way about their SDS, and even said disgusting things about us. I don't even want to say what they said. Siblings aren't problem children. They love her very much. What really gets me is how false she is in front of us. I've offered to babysit my half-brother so my dad and her can go on a date. All those times she refused to let me take care of him, but now I've seen. She's been saying how I live at my dad's and don't help her. And other people are saying she should tell my dad to make me leave because I'm too old to live with him and he has a new family. I cook, do the laundry, help pay the bills, and so on. She's been saying how I'm living at my dad's and not helping out, so people are saying she should tell my dad to make me leave because I'm too old to live with him and he's got a new family. I cook, do the laundry, and help pay the bills while she doesn't. I normally only come home at the weekends because I'm at the police academy almost the whole week. I don't care if I'm making it too obvious who I am. It was my dad who told me to move back with him, so that when I come back from the academy on Friday nights, it will be a shorter trip. She sexualizes my interactions with my dad, saying it's not normal for me to sleep a nap, hugging him, and that I should know my place. He's my dad. What's wrong with her? I'm so disgusted. I have the comments, I have the post. I have even comments from years ago, and I'll use them. I don't care. She sexualizes my interactions with my dad, saying it's not normal for me to sleep, nap, hug him, and that I should know my place. He's my dad. What's wrong with her? I'm so disgusted. I've got the comments, I've got the post, and I'll even use comments from years ago. I don't care. Comment 1. Show dad her posts. Comment 2. Show your father what she really thinks of you. Because once you're all out, she's going to work double time to keep it that way and isolate him. Update 1. I decided to delete the post because for now, I can't tell anyone what happened. I'll be stuck in the academy until Friday morning, and I shouldn't even be using my phone right now. Someone with too much time on their hands shared the situation in that sub of step parents to warn my SM that I've got screenshots of everything, including a video showing that it is her email and showing the comments. If she sees that post, what will she do? Delete the account. I already have the proof, but I don't want my siblings to find out before I tell them, and I know that those types of posts usually end up on TikTok, which re-upload posts without permission, so I'd rather delete the post so that it doesn't stand. What will she do if she sees that post? Will she delete the account? I've already got proof, but I don't want my siblings to find out before I tell them. I know that types of posts usually end up on TikTok with re-upload posts without permission, so I'd rather delete the post so it doesn't stand out even more. My siblings don't use Reddit or that kind of content, but I'll post again in that sub when I talk to my family about everything, so I hope Redditors know how to keep the post secret. I know they won't, haha. Being a stepmom is hard. Yes, one thing is feeling that one is feeling like you're having a hard time, and the other is making a post saying you hate it when your stepdaughter is around her father because you think she's going to fuck him. TF. It's not the same as saying being a step-parent is stressful than to say honestly, learning SL is unnecessary BC when the girl. It's not the same as saying being a step-parent is stressful than to say honestly, learning SL is unnecessary because when the girl turns 18 I won't see her again. It's a waste of time since she can read lips. Also, some people complained about me hugging my dad. I also took a nap hugging my mother or my siblings. I'm sorry for having a family that loves me and are not perverts who see a hug as something sexual. Next week I will be when I turn 18. I won't see her again. It's a waste of time since she can read lips. Also, some people complained about me hugging my dad. I also took a nap hugging my mother or my siblings. I'm sorry for having a family that loves me and aren't perverts who see a hug as something sexual. I'll probably be able to give an update next week. The academy keeps me working almost all day. Comments. Comment 1. It's already on TikTok. That's how I found this post. I hope that, for now, it doesn't appear in my siblings' eyes. FYP comment 2. As soon as it's posted on Borrow, it's on TikTok. Update 2. Hi. For now, I'm going to post this little. I'll give you a quick update. I haven't spoken to my dad yet, but I've spoken to my siblings and my mom. I told my dad that I was staying at a friend's house when I left the academy, but I actually went to my mom's house and told her everything. She doesn't even know what Reddit is. That site isn't used too much here, but I've translated it. I showed her the comments and posts for her that I showed her the videos, and my mom was furious that I explained to her that in the comments, BM means Madre Biologica. I was confused about it too the first time I read that. Also with SM, so my SM also made comments and posts complaining about my mother being that they've always been nice to her, but still my SM was lying when she said my mother was difficult at. And no one in the comments said anything. Everyone supported her and said she should move far away with her legal family, away from the problematic BM and kids. First, we told my brother, who was also upset and said, the treatment was pretty cordial, but SM was still being dishonest when he said that my mother was difficult. No one in the comments said anything, and everyone supported her and recommended that she move far away with her legal family, away from the problematic BM and kids. First, we told my brother, who was also upset, that she was a fake and that he had seen her ignore my sister and pretend that she didn't see or hear her. He explained that, like me, it also seems strange that SM has not yet learned sign language. My siblings spend a lot of time at my father's house, just like English or Spanish. He said it's much easier to learn if you live with someone who uses it every day. So it's strange that SM doesn't use it. He also said that even my dad has offered to pay for her classes, but she says she doesn't have time. We asked him if he'd noticed any other strange behavior, and he said that SM doesn't let him. It's easier to learn if you live with someone who uses it every day. So it's strange that SM doesn't use it. He said that even my father has offered to pay for her classes, but she says she doesn't have time. We asked him if he noticed any other behavior like that, and he said that SM doesn't let him take care of our younger brother, which she also does with me. But curiously, she does let our sister take care of him. I don't understand that. Other than that, she's never treated him badly or anything like that. When she told my sister, she was the most hurt. She cried, especially because of SM's comments. She's always been a bit of a drama queen, but I never thought she'd take it out on my sister. I mean, she's always been a bit of a handful, but she's never been nasty to her. I guess it's kind of ironic how the comments towards her affected me and the comments towards her affected her. My sister noticed that almost all of SM's comments were criticizing me, my sister and even my mother, but my brother, she's only criticized. She only criticizes my sister and me at sleepovers or when she comes back late from being with her friends, but she has criticized my and my sister's clothes, made up things about my life, and even admitted to hating it when we hug our dad. She said we're too clingy and talk badly about my mother, etc. My sister said it's sexist and that she's got some mental issues. My sister said she always thought SM didn't really hear her, and that she maybe wasn't speaking clearly, and didn't understand her. I think that's the shittiest thing of all. My sister's greatest pride is being able to pronounce some words, no matter how short they are or if they sound like noise to some people. The problem is that my sister always thought SM didn't really hear her, and that she maybe wasn't speaking clearly and didn't understand her. I think that's the worst thing of all. My sister's greatest pride is being able to pronounce some words, no matter how short they are, or if they sound like noise to some people. We understand her, but SM made her feel insecure every time she ignored her. I know that my sister always justifies this by believing that it was her mistake and that SM made an effort to learn, but it was simply more difficult for her. But now we know that no, she was never interested in learning. I'm getting mad again. As I'm writing this, I'm sorry, but my mother said she was going to talk to both of them. She's not going to let my siblings be around someone like that. SM's way of expressing herself is sick, and she's not going to let my siblings be around someone like that. Oh, but she's venting. Being a stepmom is lonely. I received comments like that. It's not the same as saying I feel lonely and stressed, than to say my stepdaughter behaves like a slut just because my younger sister and I wear a bikini for the pool. Her account is old. She's been leaving comments like that for years with lies and complaints we never heard before. That it's just messed up. That we're going to arrange that we're going to tell our dad everything and show him everything, so we'll probably tell him tomorrow because I need to leave for the academy on Monday. MYSM account hasn't been deleted. But it's crazy how she makes things up to get approval from strangers. At this point, I don't even know if she's crazy or a mythomaniac. I would like to go back. I'd like to go back to her email since the password is saved, but I don't know if she'll receive a notification of that because this time I'm closing the account. Update 3. We talked to my father over the weekend. For now, he's staying at my mother's house. It's a complicated situation since in the middle of everything is my half-sibling too. I've emailed her as her password is saved, but I'm not sure if she'll get a notification about that. I've closed the account and updated update 3. We spoke to my father over the weekend. He's staying at my mother's house for now, which is a complicated situation, especially with my half-sister involved too. During the weekend, I went to my father's house and told my stepmom separately that I'd seen her Reddit account and I was going to talk about it with my dad. She said I can't condemn her for using it as an intimate diary, but I told her that's not what it's for. It's a social network where she makes her. I went to my dad's house at the weekend and the first thing I did was tell my stepmom that I'd seen her Reddit account and I was going to talk to my dad about it. She said I can't condemn her for using it as an intimate diary, but I told her that's not what it's for. It's a public social network where she makes her problems public. If someone other than me found her account, what would happen? Would they believe all the things she invented? If her identity was revealed on that account by someone else, I would have too many problems and could even be kicked out of the academy again. There's a big difference between saying I'm stressed and my stepdaughters act like sluts around their dad is one thing. I just told her that my mom and sister also know and would come to talk about it too. She, for obvious reasons, just went to lock herself in her room and didn't want to talk to me. Once we talked to my dad, I showed him most of the posts and comments. I told her that my mother and sister also know about it and would come to talk about it too. She went to her room not wanting to talk to me. After we'd talked to my father, I showed him most of the posts and comments. There were so many of them, so many crazy comments that I don't think it would take me too long to read them all because they were just so long. She's the kind of person who comments on other people's lives in their posts. My father got angry. My stepmom never expressed having a single problem with us like that. The situation would be, there were so many comments, so many crazy comments, that I don't even know where to start because they were just so long. She's the kind of person who comments on the lives of other people in their posts. My father got angry, but I never expressed having a problem with her doing that. The situation would be different if we knew what she thinks about us. My father went to look for my SM, who refused to talk about it and was mostly angry with me for violating her privacy. My father told her that she's insane for thinking that my sister and I sexually provoked him, and that he can't believe the way she talks about my sister and the happiness she. If we knew what she thinks about us, things would be different. My father went to see my social worker, who refused to talk about it and was mostly angry with me for violating her privacy. He told her that she's insane for thinking that my sister and I sexually provoked him. He can't believe the way she talks about my sister and the happiness she expresses every time my sister goes to the hospital and is not home, or how she expresses her desire for my sister to stop going to the house forever. He told her that she knew that he is a father and that he would never leave us. She made her decision, and even so, instead of talking about her problems, she decided she even made an account so she could play the victim card and say she needed a place to vent. He told her that venting isn't the same as lying or hating your stepdaughters and saying horrible things about them, and that she could have spoken to him about it instead of lying. They argued a lot, but it didn't get anywhere. She kept defending herself, and my father told her it was over. My mother told him she wasn't going to let my sister and brother be around a woman who is clearly mentally unstable, because no normal person thinks like that. They'd argued too much, and she even tried to make Isam understand what she did. She just kept on defending herself, and my dad only told her that it was over. My mom told my dad that she wasn't going to let my sister and brother be around a woman who was clearly mentally unstable, because no normal person thinks like that after arguing too much. She even tried to make Isam understand that what she did was wrong, but she just kept justifying herself. My dad went with us and told her that he was going to come back just to see my brother every day, but that he no longer trusted her and never saw her again. She'd lied for so many years. Nothing really went as I expected because I expected her to be more mature. I guess I hoped she'd be able to say sorry, but I don't think she even sees what she did was wrong. She was just so convinced that being a stepmother is hard, and that made her think it was all right to be so cruel and poisonous. But yeah, that's what happened. I think it's really hurtful to know that someone can be so dark. I wasn't too close with her, but I liked her well enough to share clothes and stuff, so I'm also pretty down about it, mostly from my dad. Comments. Comment 1: Wow, just wow. You think you know someone, then 1 second, bam. I'm so sorry you and your family are dealing with this. Sem is off her rocker. Does she need constant attention? I wasn't close with her, but I liked her so much that I shared my clothes and stuff with her. So I'm also pretty down about it, mostly from my dad. Comment 1: Wow, just wow. You think you know someone, and then 1 second, bam. I'm so sorry you and your family are dealing with this. Sem is off her rocker. Does she need constant attention and approval? She needs therapy, and most likely the whole family, because this is a traumatic event and major trust issues are now forming. Stay well, stay strong. OP comment. I'm happy that your dad stood up for you. I got kicked out of step-parent Reddit because it was clear that some step-parents were unhinged. I'm glad your dad had the guts to stand up for you. I got kicked out of step-parent Reddit because it was obvious that some step-parents were unhinged and hated their stepchildren. I even had to delete the first post because I was told that someone had made a post in that sub to alert my SM. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you. It's Mother.